So we'll jump into the main story today. I'm going to talk about this. Leftist media's furious meltdown over the Musk-Trump interview. The age of Hollywood celebrities is over, which is a good thing. They've decided to get into politics and get into everything else. And of course, that means they hate half the country. So we're going to talk about that for a few minutes. And then I had fun making this. Thumbnail. And then the last story we'll talk about is Starbucks is out after losing, or the Star CEO, English, everybody.
English, mother.
Hello there.
Do you speak it?
The CEO of Starbucks is out after losing the culture war and a stock collapse. So we're going to cover all those stories today. The first one I find that is the most interesting is the media reacted just like we said it would during the live stream of Elon Musk and Trump. The media's reacted just like we said it would. Just like we said it would. And why are they freaking out? Because of stuff like this. This is why they're freaking out. Because CNN, CNBC, ABC, NBC, somebody happened to pull up this graphic today I found. They've lost 50% of their viewership in just 2 years. From January of 2022 to January of 2024, they've lost, in this case, almost more than half of their viewership. That's why that's part of why they're so angry, because these companies are now money sponges. They don't make money anymore. They cost people money, and they're losing. They're losing to places like Twitter specifically, but also Rumble, because journalists and broadcasters are able to do this much cheaper. I'm my own audio engineer, unfortunately for you. I'm my own video engineer, once again, unfortunately for you. I'm my own lighting tech. I'm my own script writer, which is no script. I just talk off the top of my head. So I'm like, they're not doing well, and it's a great thing to see. So Rumble's doing very, very well. I'm glad. And again, this is part of what's freaking the media out, is because of X and because of Rumble and because of other websites that you can go to now that are not the mainstream news, which is like clutch, if you ask me. So Elon Musk posted this today in response to the stream last night. He said, combined views of the conversation with real Donald Trump and subsequent discussion by other accounts now equals around 1 billion views and or conversations. And this is coming right from X. Between 7:47 p.m. and 10:47 p.m. Eastern Time, President Donald Trump's space post received 73 million views. During the same period, there were 4 million posts about Elon Musk and President Trump's conversation on X, generating a total of 998 million views. So 2 million away from a billion. A billion views of, and it doesn't mean they watched the full video. It means they were aware of the conversation. They had the opportunity to join in. And the media melted down. The media is in full freak out mode, let me tell you. This, I said, if you guys were here watching the stream last night while we listened to the Trump-Elon interview, Trump was leaning forward over a phone. He was like, he had his face tilted down, which makes the saliva in your mouth run towards your lips. He was also speaking on an iPhone in which the compression made it sound a little, what's the best word? Slurpy. A little heavy on the S's. And I said, you know what? Mainstream media tomorrow is going to be like, oh, he was slurring, or he had a stroke, or he'd been drinking, or something stupid. And they'd also call it a mess because of the DDoS attacks that started at the beginning of it. And sure enough, published 10:30, Trump rambles, slurs his way through Elon Musk interview. It was an unmitigated disaster. But here's the subline, the tagline. For a fascism-curious billionaire who loves cuddling up to right-wing loons, Elon Musk sure is good at making right-wing politicians look stupid. I told you they were gonna do this crap. This is why they hate alternative, because they can't, like, you have the freedom to walk away from dummies like this. Anyway, here's some of the headlines today. I'm just going to go down through a couple of these, but you guys will get the point. USA Today, I just read. Newsweek, Donald Trump's lisp during Elon Musk interview raises questions. The Guardian, so Donald chatted with Elon, and here's what the future as they see it. Losers win, incompetence rules. New York Times, Musk's Trump talk on X after glitchy start, a 2-hour ramble. The Guardian, again, a surprisingly dull meeting of two planet-sized egos. I told you they were going to be attacking. They don't care. They just don't care. They're losing the narrative. They're losing money. They're losing viewers. They're losing access to manipulation. That's why they care. And this tells you something. If they're reacting like this now, and they reacted like this when Trump was first term in office, how much longer before that were they lying to us? We just didn't know about it. This is from Chris Pavlovsky. He said, congrats to the Quartering, Jeremy over at the Quartering. I don't know if you watch him. Some people like him. Some people really dislike him. But he says, congrats for breaking 100,000 live viewers on Rumble with his coverage and commentary of the Trump and Elon interview. Huge stream. And that's 100,000 people that weren't watching CNN. Doug Duggernut said he had 150,000 live viewers. Okay, just here when they took the screenshot, it said 103. But when you've got Jeremy getting 100,000, and, you know, even though I think I got, 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever it was, total views, and you've got Dan Bongino getting stuff, and you've got Steven Crowder and all these other channels, they're vacuum sucking millions and millions and millions of views away from mainstream media. And so mainstream media has gotten themselves into they've painted themselves in a corner to where there's no going back to the middle for them. They can't be unbiased and in the middle anymore, because they'll lose the hard leftist base that they have, that is really the only viewers they have left. But if they don't come to the center, they lose the center and the right. And almost all these mainstream, look at all this. Reuters, Hollywood Reporter, The Verge, Independent, CNN, MSNBC, NPR, The Washington Post, The Atlantic, The Guardian, Variety, New York Times, Wired, Newsweek. Even Fox News didn't have a great headline in there, because they have to pander to their base. But as media slowly becomes more left and more right, more people are going to belong to the camp of the left, the camp of the right. But there are no camps of the right really in mainstream media. So they're on Rumble, they're on X, they're on these other platforms. And what's interesting about this is I think it's going to steer the culture war to the right, because young people are on X, they're on Twitter, old people are on Facebook, young people aren't anymore. They're on TikTok, but there's a lot of content creators that are conservative that are going on TikTok as well. So the younger people use devices, the younger people use the internet, and so the kind of conservative / Republican and even centrist people are on those platforms, while the leftist media is on cable, is in, New York Times and these other ones that are failing out. I think over time that will leave everybody off to the right a little bit more. This is from Colin Rugg. This is kind of funny too. He says, new CNN fumes after the Trump-Musk X space last night. Slams Trump for his comments about their candidate, Kamala Harris. Mission successful. I'm going to let you hear what CNN had to say about it. They have here in capital letters, glitch delays Trump's event. Yeah, because that was a DDoS attack. Let's just hear what the lamestream journalists have to say.
Began with 40 minutes of silence and then a bropocalypse of politics. No matter how you frame it or what caused the glitch, what was finally said between Donald Trump and Elon Musk at last night's Big X event can largely be defined as a rant filled with familiar lies and lines of attack.
Kamala wouldn't have this conversation. She can't because she's not smart. You know, she's not a smart person. She is a radical left San Francisco liberal, and now she's trying to protect. Now she's looking like she wants to be more Trump than Trump, if that's possible. I don't think it's possible, but she wants to be more Trump than Trump. She's terrible, but she's getting a free ride.
All right, but did it do what it was designed to do, which was to put the brakes on Harris's momentum, or again?
So as you can see, it's not good for them. It's not good for them. It's not going well. This is I think she's on MSNBC. She might be on CNN. I think she's CNN. And she went on to Stephen Colbert's show last night. How crazy is it that late night TV hosts are interviewing CNN hosts so they can try to spread their propaganda? That just blows me away. But what makes this clip funny is listen to the audience's reaction when Stephen Colbert says, will you guys put like unbiased news? Listen to the reaction of the audience. It is brilliant.
Trump has kind of been thrown on his heels by this, and he's not really sure how to go after Vice President Harris. He knew his attack lines on President Biden. He really has struggled with how to go after someone who's 20 years younger than him, who is a different gender, a different race. It's kind of been this moment where he has not been able to coalesce around a single attack line.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes it. I know
that's supposed to be a lab line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
These are the people that sit in this audience that slurp up this leftist drizzle. And even they're laughing over the line that it's unbiased. That's crazy. So even the lefties know.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. Oh, I know. CNN makes it. I know
that's supposed to be.
Even his audience knows. Even his audience knows they're not centrist anymore. That tells you everything you need to do, or everything you need to know. Gunther says the machine's falling apart and everybody knows. Drafranzer Memes says liberal and conservatives hearing someone say CNN is objective and reports the news as is. True liberal, but here's the thing is we have to remove the word liberal from the Democrat Party. We have to remove the word liberal from mainstream news. We have to remove the word from them. They're not liberal anymore. These are full-on leftists. They support socialist policies. They support communist-type policies. They support totalitarianism. In some cases, even some of the things they support are authoritarianism. That's not liberal. Elon Musk is probably somebody I might call liberal. Now I'll get some hate saying no, but he voted for Obama. I think he said he waited 5 hours in line to shake Obama's hand. He's given to a lot of Democrat politicians. And now he said, hey, I think they're just too far gone, and now the best option is Trump. And I've mentioned this before, if you know anything about Trump's policies, he's actually like an old school Democrat. Trump is not the most conservative, which is one of the reasons why I think more people moved away from DeSantis and some of the other more conservatives to kind of sit and camp Trump, because he does have some policies that are a little bit more left-leaning. They are truly centrist. So I think using the word liberal for Democrats is long gone. Time magazine, which we showed earlier, except with my face in it. This is Time magazine's her moment. Proud, standing up, facing the misogynists and the toxic men and those radical right-wingers. How proud and brave. Here's how Time reported on Trump. Meltdown. Even when Biden was not doing well, they still had a cover that was like, oh, poor grandpa, but he's still doing okay. This is propaganda. Take it for nothing else than what it is. It is propaganda. Because even if the headline and the image and maybe the first paragraph or two are spinning the narrative, then in the story they might tell you actually what happened, but it doesn't matter at that point because the news media knows most people don't stick around for the full story. This is from CNN Inside Politics. Kind of the same thing. And the headline, let me take my fat head out of the way. The headline is how Elon Musk forged an unlikely alliance with Trump. Okay, that is a fair chyron. Let's hear what she has to say about it.
I want to play one exchange that was kind of classic. Well, there were a lot of exchanges that were classic Donald Trump, but this one really stuck out to us.
And Nagasaki were bombed, but now they're like full cities again. So
Right,
it's
right,
really
right.
not
That's
something that,
That's right.
so it's not as scary as people think, basically.
So that was more Elon Musk than Donald Trump talking about, sort of suggesting that what happened almost 80 years ago, I think 80 years ago next year, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, now it's okay. Kind of trying to blow off the impact of that.
If you listen, now please understand this. They were talking about energy and radiation from nuclear power plants. And they happened to bring up the fact that he said, if you look at Nagasaki and you look at Hiroshima, an explosion went off from the bombs during World War II. And if you look, they have cities rebuilt there. The radiation wasn't enough to keep civilization from continuing to be in that spot. That was the conversation. And now they're making it sound like Elon Musk and Donald Trump were saying it was no big deal that the cities were bombed. Do you understand how much that skews the conversation? Do you understand how much that could screw with someone's impression of it? That two men are trying to solve a world problem. They're trying to solve a problem of energy and clean environment, because they were talking about the environment. They're trying to solve energy or have a discussion about energy and the clean environment. And they're saying, nuclear power is not that bad. It might be a good bridge gap between oil and coal and solar and wind and our next generation. It might be a good way to carry us into the future. And that the accidents that those plants had were bad, but depending on the situation, they might not destroy an area, and you might be able to be okay and rebuild. We've got better technology for that. And CNN twists that into Trump and Elon are okay with bombing Nagasaki. Do you understand how
Hello there.
stupid that is? That is and if you only listen to CNN, you'd be like, my God, these monsters. It was okay to bomb those areas because people just rebuilt again? The horror. It just, again, gobsmacked. I have a feeling I'm going to be using that word. Shocked beyond comprehension. I shouldn't be. But the fact that the media will do this to slander people, and then when you wonder, like, why is half the country still on board with Harris, even though she actually signed a bill into law to put taxes on tips, and that she actually has said she'll open the borders and get rid of the detention facilities. And she prosecuted people that were innocent but kept them around so they could do manual labor for California. How can people still support that? It's simple. They don't know. Or they don't know, and they're low information voters, and they listen to CNN. And then they watch this clip, and at the end of the day, they're like, wow, those Elon Musk and Trump are monsters. Where everybody else is like, what in the hell are you talking about? They're not monsters. They were talking about clean energy. And some of you last night said, why didn't Trump come out and go after the Secret Service agents that did such a shoddy job? Because if he did, if he called out the female security agents, or no matter what he says, the media is going to take it and twist it into Trump was hating on women. Trump is misogynist. Trump is blah, blah, blah. They even do it with innocent conversations that they're having about a totally different topic. That's why Trump is always pretty much screwed in any time he talks in public if you're only listening to the leftist media. The point is the media will go to such extents to lie and to hate on Elon or Trump or anybody they disagree with, really.